Hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday. So I was just going to squeeze in a little crafting today and finish the bloom banner that goes with the bloom tier tray and show you how I am going to finish that. So if you're able to hop on, say hi, let me know what you're doing. Hi, Clara. How are you today? See if I can get my comments in the right spot. Hello, hello. Welcome. Let's see here. Just give me 2 seconds. So last week we did the tiered tray set. So let me just pull that out real quick and show you that. I started out creating this tiered set with white, black, and gray, or white, black, and green, I should say. And about halfway through, I was like, oh, I need another color for the flowers. And I was second guessing myself, but then I just decided to go for it and see how it would turn out. And I love the white flowers. They're kind of like, they've got some gray in them, so they're kind of like a magnolia flower, but this set is just so super cute, and it's just sharp looking with the black and white. So I wanted to carry that through with the bloom tier tray, which is part of a collection. So I thought I'd show you that with the banner. So we did this in one video, and then we created the garland in a second video. But I love how this turned out, and as soon as I get the banner done, maybe early next week, I will try and do a video by setting up the tiered tray. And kind of show you how I decorate the tiered tray, I guess. Eating dinner. Well, I'm glad you're here, Cara. Okay. So this is the bloom banner. So you've got the B, well, that's kind of hard to see in one video. The BLOOM, and then on the ends of the banner are 2 flower pieces. And the flowers are all individual. And then the banner is actually 2 pieces, and it's got this really pretty scallop edging, and it creates this layered banner. But you could make multiple banners from this piece. You could just use this, you know, this top little scallop piece and do the bloom, and then use this for a second banner of your choice, kind of decorating it or painting it. You could do, you know, so many different things. So I love seeing how everyone takes these DIY kits and just kind of creates their own thing. So I am going to stick with the same color scheme. I've got the white, the black, and let me find my green that I used. I believe it was the Mossy Meadow. Yes, it was. All right, so I'm going to start by taping down my letters to help hold them while I paint them. And I'm hoping I can get my comments in. Louisiana, hello, hello. Welcome. Trying to get my second device up here so that I can read the comments a little bit better. Since my phone is upside down right now. There we go. Hello. Deb, I would assume, from Louisiana. Welcome. Okay. Tape, tape, tape. So I am using just regular painter's tape, masking tape, and I use it by using the sticky side up. Then I'll lay my letters right on top of the tape, and that helps hold my pieces as I'm painting, and I can easily move them around as well. An easy way to paint these small pieces. So the Bloom collection is a new DIY kit in our shop, redbirddesigns.com. And if you're watching from TikTok, that is the link is in our bio. Okay, got those off to the side. Now to decide how I want to layer my colors. So I am gonna just bring this back just for a second. I'm thinking I will do black on the back piece, and then white on the top scalloped banner, and then green letters. And then maybe on the ends, I flip that and do green on the scallop and then white there. Yeah, let's try that. We'll see how it goes. The awesome thing about paint is you can paint something once and maybe you hate it, and then you just let it dry and paint it again. Okay, so I'm going to take these off, the top pieces off. Actually, I'll paint them white now. These are going to be green, and then these are all going to be black. For the bigger pieces, I'm just going to use a large flat. So let me know what you're doing. Let's see, Cara's eating dinner. We have a birthday party this week, and it's my youngest. Whoops, I was going to do my white first because I know I'll need a couple coats of white. It's my youngest son's birthday on Monday. So it's kind of birthday weekend at our house. My husband is currently taking him and a group of friends swimming. And I finished making the cake, which was super easy. He just wanted an ice cream cake, so we did that. And the ice cream cake is, if you've never heard of it, it's using just the ice cream, well, I'm sure you've heard of ice cream cakes, that's not what I meant, but the technique or the recipe that I use is using ice cream sandwiches. So you get the rectangle ice cream sandwiches and you layer them, they lay all down, and then you put a layer of another layer of some different ice cream, and then layer those ice cream sandwiches on top of that, and then another layer of ice cream on top of that. So 1, 2, 4 layers, and then we sprinkle the top with whatever candies they like. My daughter requested that birthday cake multiple years, and she loves M&Ms, so M&Ms were always on top of her cake. And yeah, it's a cake we've made multiple times. And this year when I was like, so what kind of cake do you want? He's like, how about the ice cream cake one? I was like, okay. Okay. I was hoping to try some new recipe, but that's okay. It's easy, and they love it. Essentially big globs of ice cream. So white paint is a color that is translucent and typically needs multiple coats. So I always try and paint my white pieces first, Anything I'm going to paint in white, I try and do that first. Okay, I think I'm backwards, you guys. I am. These are all supposed to be black, and I'm sitting here visiting and completely spaced it out. So let's put those to the side. It was my letters I wanted white. Oh my goodness. Oh well. Can't paint and talk at the same time. Focus, focus, focus. Hello, hello. There we go. Welcome. So if you haven't heard me talk about it before, I'll just do a quick little mention. The Joy Box, our monthly craft box, is going to be open the 25th, which is Monday. We open it once a month, the 25th through the 24th, or the 25th through the 29th, and welcome new members at that time. And we are coming up to the next month, or the opening here on Monday. So if you are looking for a little crafting to do once a month, this is the perfect box. It's a box where we send you everything to complete a craft in the box. Glue, paint, brushes. The only thing we don't include is more of the common household items such as pencil, maybe a ruler every once in a while, scissors, things like that. Otherwise, you have everything you need in the box. And so if you are looking for the easy button to crafting, check out Joybox. The link is in our bio. And if you have a crafty mother and you're looking for the perfect Mother's Day box, it's perfect for Mother's Day. We deliver. It's free shipping, and it will get to her by Mother's Day. We ship 2-day. Well, I should say we are going to try and get it out by Mother's Day, it would depend on the weather and the postal service, I guess. We will ship it in plenty of time for 2-day delivery. But unfortunately, once it leaves our hands, we are at the mercy of the postman. So make sure to check that out. Keep your eye out for the 25th for that to be opened up. And next month's craft is a fun lattice interchangeable sign for the different seasons. So it's a monthly subscription. You subscribe, and then every month your payment will automatically be taken out, and we will send you a box of Crafty Joy. Or if you're looking for more of a one-time purchase, especially for Mother's Day, we do have a 3-month gift pack where you just purchase 3 months, and for the next 3 months, we will send your mom or you a Joy Box. And then should they want to continue, they will get their last box. They'll get an invite to continue, or they absolutely don't have to either. So I keep seeing all these posts of people enjoying nice weather, getting ready for summer, and I'm going, where is ours? We have a winter storm coming through right now, and we've not had the nicest weather. And I'm a bit jealous of all of the posts out there of everyone in there. Everyone gearing up to enjoy that weather. Okie dokie, so we have these ones we're going to do green, and these ones that I accidentally painted white that I am going to now fix. So these DIY kits are all laser cut in-house, actually in our garage / workshop. It's no longer a garage, it's now a workshop. I've slowly taken over the garage space to create a workshop, but we have our laser there and everything is laser cut by us, and the DIY kits are super easy to paint. They're cut from 1/4-inch plywood or birch plywood, and when you get a kit, everything's the same size. It's all just perfectly cut for you. And some of the items, I would say probably 75% of the kits, we do etch in the location of the letter. So in this case, you'll see I painted right over the B on this banner piece. And so that's etched in. The laser just, creates this little groove in that location. And that just helps you place that B perfectly in the center of that banner. Okay. And so a lot of our kits have that on the item. So you have perfect placement. You know exactly where it's going to go or need to go. And because it's etched and it's created that little groove in there with the laser, it's scored actually. You're scoring it. You can just paint right over that and you'll still be able to see those lines after the fact. Now, if you paint it with a super, super heavy paint, or you go on with, 6 or 7 coats, eventually these little grooves will fill in. But for the most part, you can put 2 or 3 coats on, and you'll see me do that and still be able to see that, so you know exactly where to place those items, which makes it nice. It's kind of a no-brainer. And like I said, 75% of our kits offer or have that scoring on it. There are a few kits that we don't do that with, and those are items that maybe are different signs to offer flexibility on how you would want to finish it. So you might not want those letters there, or you want to do something a little different. And so some of our kits, we don't score, simply to give you that flexibility. And if you do get a kit and it's scored, a lot of times you can just flip it over and use the back if you want. If you did want to do something different with this banner and you didn't want the B and the L and the O, you could just flip it over and use this side, and then maybe use the bloom somewhere else on a different sign that you have in your house, and use this banner for something completely different. So, okay, I've got all my black pieces. My white pieces, I'm going to do these green because I've got the white flowers and the green letters. So let's do green next. I'm going to use the big brush, my large flat, for the banner piece, and then I will use a makeup sponge for the letters. So as you join, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're doing today. We have our birthday weekend this weekend for my youngest son, but we also are gearing up for a craft show next Saturday. I can't believe it's already here. I just finished adding bows and floral to about 12 signs this morning. So that is done. So we try and do a craft show twice, maybe 3 times a year. But because of the pandemic, we have been haven't been able to attend as many as we want. So that was kind of a bummer. Last winter, we could have attended one, but we had some prior engagements, so we missed that one. So I'm excited to get back in it. Hello, Janelle from California. You're working on graduation tiered sets today. Awesome. I love the tiered sets, and I've seen graduation tiered sets, but I don't know if they would go over quite well here, for me anyways. I would love to see pictures of your finished tiered sets. We, I don't have it here, shoot. We are offering also graduation. Speaking of graduation, we have some graduation flags that are available on the website. It's similar to like a garden flag. We have 2 designs of those. And then we also have like a little memory book or a guest book. So we have a 6x6 class of 2022 memory book that will come with 15 pages with the color of your choice for your school, and you can add, I think they'd be super cute to add pictures of your graduate throughout their school year. So, you know, a picture from kindergarten, a picture from 1st grade, all the way up, and just have this transition of your child or graduate as they grew up all the way to senior year. We did that with my daughter, and then on the back we had some empty pages that people could then sign and add their name and any sort of congratulations or advice for the graduate. So it was super fun. She actually just was kind of cleaning out some old tubs and brought it out, and it was really fun to look through. And she also found a roll of quarters in her tub from graduation she must have forgot about. That was pretty funny. You know, the tiered sets for graduation would also be super cute for individual just table decorations too. Kind of what I was thinking. Will be definitely something I do when my son graduates, which I have one graduating next year. And then we will be down to one child at home. All right, I've got my green done. I'm going to go back and put a second coat on my white now. And then I will add the white to my flowers. My black is good. Black always covers really well. Typically don't need more than one coat on those. So I'm going to just slide these up out of the way. So does anyone have a graduation that they're planning? This year? Like I said, we don't have one until next year. My son and my niece, and then my husband's nephew also graduates. So we have 3 graduates in the family next year. And my niece lives in the same town with us. So my sister lives here with her kids. And so we've kind of already started thinking about graduation, I guess. Even though it's a year away. It just kind of seems to sneak up on you, though, and when you live in a small town, finding locations also, if you wanted to host it somewhere other than your home, kind of got to get on the ball and get the spot reserved pretty fast. All right, I think I'm going to be able to get away with just one coat of white on the banner. So once you get these all painted, you could glue your top scalloped edge piece to the bottom piece. And all you have to do is line up the holes, and that's it. You're good to go. You'll get that, get it placed just right, just by lining up the holes. But I think I'm going to leave mine free, and that way if I wanted to use maybe the black pieces somewhere else, I could. I love it when I can use things for multiple purposes. But you can glue it down and make it permanent if you wanted to as well. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grab another makeup sponge to do my flowers. And I'm going right over the center because the center is scored in, so I'll be able to come back and add a little green to that. With no problems. So each of these flowers are individual pieces that you can take apart and paint individually, which makes it nice to, it makes it a little easier, especially if you are painting your flowers all different colors. In this case, mine are all white, so I've kind of kept them in their grouping, as you can see here. But if you were going to paint them individually, you know, 3 different colors or whatnot, you would want to separate them out on the tape and use the fact that they aren't connected to your advantage, so you can just focus on that one flower. Okay. So I like to use super light coats of paint. It dries a lot faster. Acrylic paint dries fast as is, but if you go with lighter coats, they'll dry super fast, and you can always just add multiple coats. But typically, by the time I'm done painting one area, because I do just super light coats, the next area is already dry, and I can just keep moving on and kind of just work my way back through again. All right, I'm going to grab a small round brush and grab the green, and I'm going to kind of grab a blob here on the tip of my brush. I'm going to drop that blob and just move it around. And I'm not too concerned about staying within the center lines of the flower. From a distance, you're not going to tell if I stayed in the lines anyways. So I just try and create just an attempt to stay in the lines, but if I fall outside, I'm okay with that. Just blob that paint down in the center, and I just move it around in that centerpiece. Okay, so you can kind of see how messy that looks, super close up. But that's okay. Far away, it looks great. So these kits you can get as detailed or as simple as you want, and they're going to look great. It, you know, depending on your style of decorating is really how you should decorate your piece. You might be more minimalistic, and just some simple lines and simple colors is the way you want to go, or you might be more geared towards maybe whimsical, so you add some outlines and some dots and different patterns. And yeah, there's just really no right or wrong way to paint these kits. Okay, so what I'm doing next is I'm making a super, super light gray. I've got my white, and I'm mixing just a little bit of black with this. And what I'm after is creating a shadow on my flowers. to just help the petals stand out just a little bit. So I'm taking a brush stroke of gray and pulling it from the center to the outside along one edge of the petal. You can also add a short little line kind of centered in the petal for where that petal might be folding. So for instance, this one has just got the gray lines just right in the center. I just did a quick little brush stroke there. So that's showing there's like a fold in the petal. And then on this one, I went along one side of the petal, giving it that illusion that there's some shadow there. On the bigger one, I did both. So you can kind of just play around with some different paint techniques on your items. But again, you could always just leave them white and they look great as well. Okay, so then I'm going to grab a little bit of just the pure white on the very tip of my brush and create a little squiggle or a half C, or I mean a C or half parenthesis, half circle is where I was trying to go with that word, inside my green center there. And then I'm going to use the back of my brush and add a couple black dots in the center. Just for a little detail. And that is what the centers look like. Okay, there's that. So we've got our flowers done. They're gonna go on the green here. We've got the bloom done. I'm gonna pull out my blow dryer so I can glue the bloom down now. It's still a little bit wet, and when you go to glue your elements on your piece, you want to make sure that they are completely dry. Otherwise, you won't get a good adhesion there. You can always kind of tell if your piece is still a little damp, if it feels cool. So this M right now, when I touch it, I'm not bringing up any paint on my hands, right? And it might be, you might be like, oh, that's dry. But if it feels cool to the touch, that means it's damp. So always make sure that it doesn't feel cool before you glue. And not just that no paint comes away when you touch it. Okay. Let's line these up here. We got our bloom. And I'm going to use super glue or this instant CA adhesive. I call it super glue, but it's not really. It's CA adhesive, and I can't remember what the CA stands for, but it's very similar to super glue. And so I'm just going to look and make sure that I get it on top of my score marks. And you can use any glue really for these kits. You could use a simple school's Elmer's glue, Elmer's school glue. That works. Any wood glue, craft bond, even the tacky glue works. You want to find something that's going to dry clear in case you get a little glue on, you know, that kind of comes out the side or whatnot. So I always try and use something that's clear. I like using this because it has a little bit of thickness to it, so it's not too runny. It's not gonna run off in my piece. And it's super fast drying, which can be a little unnerving at times because you really have to, you don't get much play in your piece. Once you place it down within about 5 to 10 seconds, it's committed. So I know that can be a little unnerving at times. All right. My black is still a little wet, so we're gonna go on to the flower portion, and then we'll put this thing together, and that is it. A super, super fast, super easy craft. And I probably completed a lot faster than I did, because I tend to talk a lot, and then I mess up and have to redo things. Okay, it looked like my battery is about to die on my phone. I thought I had enough, so I'm going to plug myself in real quick. Give me just a second. There we go. Hello. Welcome back. Okay, so there are no score marks for the flowers. You can just place them wherever. So what I'm going to do is determine how I want them to sit on my banner. And I think I want them to be a little different. So here I have my bigger flower in the upper right corner, and I think I'm going to put my, we'll see how it looks here. My other side, my bigger flower will be in the lower left corner. So I'll use this one on this side of the banner and this one on this side. And I think that will look okay. But you could put them on in the same way each time. So I'm going to hold down the two flowers and pick up one piece, throw some glue on it, put a finger on my pieces that are sitting there, and then I'll get that big piece glued in first. And then once it's set in stone, I can pull my other pieces off of it, and they're kind of where I want them to be. Okay, so I did this one. Now I'll be able to pull that one up. I'll just work on them one at a time that way. And just pull straight up, and they'll come apart just like a puzzle. There we go. There's one done. And the last one here. Now, remembering which way it goes in. There we go. Okay, there's that. They're all glued and ready. So I am going to use just some regular, or just jute, but a more thin jute. This is kind of a thinner piece of jute, and I'm going to cut it to 6 feet. And we will string our banner here real quick. So like I said, I am not going to glue this piece onto here, although you can. If you want to make that permanent, you can, but I'm going to keep mine separate just so that I can possibly use the black piece for something later. So I'm going to line my 2 pieces up. If you were to glue it, you'll line your holes up and glue it, good to go. And then I'm going to take my jute and I'm going to go in through the front on the left and kind of twist it as I go in, and that helps keep that jute from fraying. Okay, I'm going to pull as much, let's see, what do I got here? I want to keep a tail long enough for me to tie it off somewhere, but you can always adjust it as you go too. You know, if you find you have too much tail, you just pull it through all the pieces. All right, so then we're going to take the long tail here and come up through the back to the front on the right side. And that way, the string is hidden from sight, especially over the front here because it's being strung through the back. So if you wanted to see this through the front for some fun texture, or maybe you had a fun ribbon, you could definitely do that. But this way, I don't see it in my banner. So we'll just finish putting these together here real quick, and then that's it. Make sure these are lined up. The benefit of gluing them is they probably will string a lot better than mine are. So I'm thinking that's going to look pretty great, especially with the tiered tray. So I have a space in my house that I will use these items in and kind of switch it out every once in a while. I have a buffet in my dining room, and I don't have a lot of space for a lot of decorations. We have a open dining room / kitchen / living room, the open concept, which is great because you get to see from one room to the next, right? But it leaves you with not very much wall space. And what wall space we do have, I have shelves. I have a lot of shelves because we do have a little lack of storage as well. So needless to say, I love the tiered trays because it allows you to decorate on a dime of a space on a tiny little bit of real estate that you might have. And then for the banner, I'll just string the banner just right on the front of my buffet, which we don't, use every day. I do store things in the buffet, but it's not something that the banner is going to cause a bunch of issue because I can't get into something. We rarely use it. So I will definitely get this up and show you what it looks like all together. The black and white combo is not something that I would typically do, but sometimes I like to step outside my own comfort zone and try something different. And green really isn't my color either. I'm usually farmhouse white, neutrals, and a splash of teal, and a splash of red here and there. And those are the colors that I typically decorate with. So this is a little different, which is kind of fun. So I'm just running out of string on one side, so I'm pulling that through so I can get through this last bit of the banner. And let's see where we're at. Okay, quick little tip. If your string is fraying and causing issues when you're trying to string something, like this one is just catching on everything at this point, and even twisting it while putting in is not working. So I kind of bring all the pieces back. I grab a small piece of tape and wrap it and then twist that tape around the end, and it creates this makeshift needle or kind of a shoestring edge tip. And now, I should have just done that to begin with, but sometimes I want to see how far I can go without it. All right, one last one here. And then I will let you go because I will have to get dinner started here as well. Okay, there we go. So, see if I can bring it around this way maybe to get it all in. So, what do you guys think? For that color scheme, it's very pretty. And like I said, I think it's great with these pieces. But I will definitely share with you how I'm going to decorate with it. And if you're interested in purchasing the kit for yourself, you can find that at redbirddesigns.com. Thanks for hanging out with me. Just trying to see if I am missing any comments here. Looks like I got it. Thank you, Cara. It's a fun color palette for sure. You really can't go wrong with the black and white and just adding something to it. I mean, you could have gone black, white, and pink, black, white, and blue. There's really not much you can't pair with those two colors. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great rest of the evening. Enjoy your weekend, and we will chat with you later. Bye.